Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Aaron. Thanks for tuning in. Today I got a great tune called In My Life by the Beatles. But as always, before we get started, make sure you check the links in the description. I got some free tabs for you there over at my website. If you want to do a private Zoom lesson, hit me up. I've got my email in there. Okay, without further ado, let's get into this In My Life chord melody type solo. So I got a capo on fret 2. I'm using kind of a G key, G shape, but it ends up giving us the A key. Again, with all these, really want to be in touch with the melody. What's the melody doing? So what do we got there? We got B, G, B, C, D, and then an F sharp. Again, we're talking in terms of G. So when I play the G chord here, I'm striking that B note, which is the third of the chord, up to the root there. So that's out of the G shape. Then I'm walking up. So kind of going B, C, D, up to the fifth of the chord, right? So a lot of chord tones in there, right? We got the third, the root, then we're gonna go walking up to the fifth there, right? B, C, D. And then when we play this D7 chord, everybody knows this cowboy D7. The F sharp, the third of the chord's right there in the melody. Lots of, melody notes are chord tones, I should say. So. All right, I'm just doing a strum. You can do these however you want them. If you want to do something like an arpeggio thing or something like. You make up what works for you. I'm just trying to kind of give you the basic outline of the chord and the melody. Okay, so that's your intro. Okay, then you got the melody. There are places, right? So we got a D, an E, and an A to a G. So notice that A note comes over the G chord. Okay, so we got a G chord with an A note. That's kind of the crux to figure out, right? So really what you got there is kind of an add 9 sound. So one thing I'm doing is I'm leaving out the third of the G chord here, and I'm muting it. I'm going root, mute, fifth, and then playing the A note there. You could put the third in like this, and it would sound like this. Maybe a little more full. Versus here it is without the third. Here it is with the third. Okay, so. Okay, then you have this D to a B here over an E minor chord. So when you add D to an E minor 7. Okay, so we got G chord with A in the melody, E minor with D in the melody, then we got this G7. And then we have in my, that'd be A to a B. Okay, then right here, let's check out what we have. Okay, so we have an A note over a C chord. You end up with this sound, right? C6, right? So. Okay, so that's the trick, right? Putting in that outside note from the chord. So check it out. G chord with the A, E minor here with the D note, G7 chord. Right here we got the C chord See how I'm just using the bottom two from the C here? You know, I suppose you could put the G in there. No, that's a little thick, so. Okay, then we're gonna go, what's that? We're going, so we're going C major, or C6 to C minor. Because I'm putting this E flat note down here, I'm bringing it down. So. Back to G. Let me see if I can run that whole thing kind of slow, so. All right, so mostly a lot of chord tones, a couple, you know, over the C chord you got an A, so that's like a 6 sound. Over the G chord, you also have an A, which is like a 9 sound. Okay, let's look at the other part. So we have this, so we got an E minor chord with this melody. So B, A, G, G. So kind of gives us a suspended type vibe. Then we have a C major 7. So I'm putting the open B note there in the melody with the C. Then I'm again grabbing an A. Then I get into an F sound. Okay, let me see if I can go through this part again. So starting with the E minor. That's the C major 7, then the A, F. Here comes the E minor again. And then I like to do this here. This is an A chord with a C sharp in the bass. So it's got the B note in the melody. I just like the sound of that. Down to the E flat. So let me run that whole section there. So. So again, on these, you know, if you want to do some finger picking, some arpeggios or something, you know, make up your own thing. But hopefully you're seeing there, mostly the song, again, the melody or the chord tones are in the chords, minus a few of those kind of 6 chords and 9 chords. You know, the A note and the C and the A note and the G. Those add some nice tension and color chords. And then the other cool thing about this song, don't forget, is you're going from major to minor to home. That's, I think, a classic Beatles thing there. 4 chord, 4 minor, 1. So hopefully this is helpful to you. You know, just wanted to kind of give you another one of these chord melody things. And, you know, as always, make it your own. Be creative with it and see if you can put together these two and figure out the puzzle, so to speak. So, all right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.